Will India ever have veto power at the UN Security Council? A question that has sparked numerous debates and discussions around the globe. The UN Security Council as it stands is composed of 5 permanent members with veto power: the United States, the United Kingdom, France, Russia and China. In recent years, calls for reform have grown louder, with nations like India campaigning for a permanent seat at this powerful diplomatic table. However, this bid has been met with resistance from the existing permanent members, each of whom hold the power to veto such changes. As the world's largest democracy, India's quest for a place at the high table of global diplomacy is a topic that warrants close examination. To delve deeper into this issue, we bring you excerpts from interviews with UN officials and experts. Consider the views of Germany's outgoing United Nations envoy, Christoph Heusgen. He has emphasized the need for the UN Security Council's composition to reflect the world's shifting power balance. In his opinion, the UN risks losing legitimacy if it continues to overlook the growing influence of nations like India. Heusgen's sentiments echo those of many political analysts who believe that the UN Security Council must evolve to maintain global relevance. Now let's turn our attention to the recent UN General Assembly and Security Council meetings about Russia's invasion of Ukraine. These meetings highlighted the limitations of the current structure of the Security Council. Russia's veto of a resolution calling for an immediate halt to the attack on Ukraine underscores the urgent need for reform. The General Assembly had to step in under the Uniting for Peace resolution, a clear indication that the Security Council is struggling to fulfill its mandate due to lack of unanimity among its permanent members. Lastly, let's look at the situation in Afghanistan. The Security Council's difficulty in reaching consensus on the UN's relations with Kabul, mainly due to Russia's opposition, further exemplifies the challenges the Council faces in its current form. The divisions between the West and Russia have made consensus difficult to achieve, which points to an inherent flaw in the Security Council's design. These instances are clear indicators of the pressing need for reform in the UN Security Council. If the Council is to effectively address global issues, it must accommodate the changing dynamics of global politics. India's inclusion as a permanent member with veto power could be a significant step in this direction. As one expert rightly pointed out, the Security Council's structure is a relic of the post-World War II world, and it's time for a change. The path to India's potential veto power at the UN Security Council is fraught with diplomatic hurdles and political negotiations. If India were to gain this power, it could significantly shift the balance in global governance, bringing a fresh perspective to the table, representing the voice of the world's second most populous nation. The benefits are clear: a more diverse Security Council that truly reflects the global community, and a stronger representation for developing countries. However, the road to this change isn't smooth. It would require amending the UN Charter, a move that needs the approval of 2/3 of the General Assembly and all current permanent Security Council members. This is a daunting task given the complex and often contentious international relations. India's bid for a permanent seat is backed by several countries, including prominent ones like Germany, Japan and Brazil, collectively known as the G4 nations, who are themselves aspiring for a permanent seat. They argue for a more representative and democratic Security Council. Yet, the bid faces opposition, especially from a group known as Uniting for Consensus, arguing that the addition of new permanent members would undermine the Council's efficiency. While the journey is complex, the possibility of India gaining veto power at the UN Security Council could redefine the global political landscape.